Golden Rose. I'm about to spill some tea. Some plus size tea.
Hello, listeners. It's me, dear Rose. I hope you can hear me. Hello. Welcome. I'm just going to wait a few minutes to see if I'm going to have any live viewers. If not, you can watch the replay. Again, welcome to Plus Size Tea with Dear Rose. Welcome. If this is your first time, please like and subscribe and ring the bell so you can always know when I'm on my channel, Plus Size Tea. I'm going to wait just a few minutes and then we can get started. For my people that'll be playing the replay, please forgive the intro. For some reason, whenever I try to go live, my internet is slow. Other than that, I can surf and troll and everything else. Okay, but we're going to still keep it moving. Just wait a few more minutes. If not, we're just going to get started and they can always watch the replay. Okay, I'm less nervous when I don't have an audience anyway. Okay, so my first story is going to be national news. It made national news. You know, I love to give you guys my national news first, and then we can go into a celebrity tea. Okay, so my first story is a mother forced a 4-year-old girl to stand for 3 days straight as punishment until she died from exhaustion. And this was a tragic story. And here's a little bit more about it. And then I'll make sure I come back and give you guys updates as the case goes on, as I'll be trying to follow it. Okay, so a North Carolina mother accused of murdering her 4-year-old daughter allegedly abused the child in married and disturbing ways before she died, according to recently released court documents. Oh my goodness. The picture in the thumbnail of the young lady is in the mugshot. That is the mother of the alleged child abuse daughter. Okay, Malika Bennett, 31 years old, stands accused of child abuse and murder in the first degree over the 2020 death of her daughter, Majelic Jelly, as they called her, Young. The young girl was last seen alive in late August or early September 2020. She was reported missing in September. Her remains were found buried outside of their home in Charlotte, North Carolina last month. Okay, Bennett and the girl's grandmother, Tammy Moffitt, 53-year-old grandmother, were both arrested in quick succession after voluntary interviews with the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. Moffitt was charged with concealing the human remains and accessory to murder after the fact. Okay, so the police chief stated, "I worked homicide most of the last 10 years, and I can tell you this case is deeply disturbing." Excuse me, not police chief, police lieutenant. Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department Lieutenant Brian Crum said during a press conference earlier this year, "It's disturbing to everyone who's worked it, crime scene investigators, detectives, everyone involved in this case. Many of us are parents," he said, "and it's very difficult to understand how someone could do this to their child, kill their child and bury them and move on with their lives as if nothing has happened." Some of the disturbing details have come to light. According to warrants reviewed by the local ABC Telemundo affiliate WSOC, the girl's body was found following a phone call made to police social worker. Bennett was previously facing relatively minor child neglect charges related to two of her other children, according to the local NBC affiliate WSOC. excuse me, WCNC. Those recently released warrant reports contained a witness testimony of Magellan's 13-year-old sister. The teenage allegedly told police that her younger sister was essentially abused to death by force to stand in the laundry room as punishment. The 4-year-old was allowed no breaks to sit. She also couldn't leave. Magellan's sister said that at the end of the first day, her baby sister had had a bowel movement inside her pants. Oh my God. The standing torture abuse allegedly continued on for 2 more days. In interviews with police, the teenager said that her sister's breathing was labored, going on and off by the third day when Magellan finally got so weak that she fell out the back door and hit her head on the ground. That was the day she died. Afterwards, the older girl, the 13-year-old, who is not being named, said that her mother put the dead child into 2 plastic bags where her corpse likely began to decompose inside of a trunk of her SUV for 5 days. Then the mother allegedly forced the teenager to help her dig a hole and cover the girl's body with dirt. Oh my God. Police claim to have recovered a shovel at the residence where Magellan's body was found some 9 months later, which was last month in May. To actually see the search warrant, it hurt me, said a family friend named Lucille Puckett. She told WSOC she described the child's death as torture. I don't just see this only happening to Puckett continue. We don't know how many children are lost in the system or could have been facing the same situation. The post mother forced the force to stand 3 days straight as punishment until she died. Oh my God, that is horrible. Listen, if you all know anyone that you suspect this type of treatment to children, towards children, please report it. I know a lot of us say it's none of our business. We shouldn't be in it. We should not mind our business and things like that. But some things you have to tell. These are children. If you know or suspect anyone of being any child of being neglected or abused, please report it. It's best that the authorities come and say that nothing is going on than to hear of another case like this. So please, if you suspect abuse, neglect, or anything similar to this going on with a child, a neighboring child, a family member, a friend, please report it because it is best to have someone investigate it before something tragic like this happens. And my condolences to the ones who loved Jelly, and I know justice will be served. Okay, and again have to state that she is innocent until proven guilty, but we all hear the results. They found the remains, but we have to say allegedly. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next story. Um, Charles Barkley is complaining. He's stating that they won't even let me talk about San Antonio anymore. When I'm always talking about them big old women down there. So someone got offended because Charles Barkley said them big old women down in San Antonio, and he got a lot of feedback about it. Um, so Charles Barkley they said that his statement is not politically correct and they wanted to cancel him. So, according to Charles Barkley, he says it's official. The days of Chuck calling women in San Antonio fat are over, and fans of that joke, according to Barkley, will have council culture to blame. I didn't call anybody personally fat in San Antonio. He was joking around. Barkley added, one lady wrote this article. You're going to let one lady ruin the joke. We've been having fun with this for 10 to 15 years. So again, a lady wrote in about the joke about him saying the big old women in San Antonio. I guess the woman was offended that he was fat shaming or, talking about women in San Antonio are large, big boned women or whatever. And he says, what is wrong with saying it? It was a joke. So he goes on and says, Barkley might not be able to joke about the women of San Antonio, but the censorship from his bosses didn't stop him from making fun of women in Georgia earlier this year. Georgia, the only school in the world they named their mascot after the women down there, Barkley recently said, referring to the University of Georgia Bulldogs. The Post charged Barkley slams cancel culture for banning jokes. So to Charles Barkley, we all, anybody's ever followed Charles Barkley's career when he was in NBA, he always have had a strong opinions and has always said things that sometimes are vulgar or can hurt your feelings. But he always claims it is in Georgia. But with the climate that we're in now, a lot of people are offended by the things that he says. He got in a lot of trouble about that comment about the Georgia Bulldog comment about Georgia named their mascot women look there in Georgia and the big old women in Texas. And so he's gotten a lot of slack about his mouth and the things that comes out of his mouth. And people are holding him accountable now. So he's saying that he has to be politically correct and that his bosses are, coming down on him and it's not fun anymore. He can't make any jokes. So Charles, I would suggest that, you know, because of the climate that we live in now and of social media, and people are able to express themselves more, show their concern about your derogatory statements that you make. It's not always funny. What used to be funny 10, 15 years ago, what you could sit around and talk about and say things about women, you can't do that kind of stuff anymore. I think you should know better. I think you're old enough to know better. I mean, I know we have freedom of speech thing, but you know what's going on. You know what's going on with racial injustice and women being mistreated and all this kind of stuff like that. So you can find other jokes to tell. It's lots of you are a funny commentator. I know your fans really love you, but just kind of be more sensitive towards making the big old jokes and the big girls and all that kind of stuff like that. Kind of, and you're not that thin yourself, actually. So, anyway, let's move on. Okay, so the next story we're gonna do A-Rod. Um, they said that he did this as a publicity stunt. I'm not sure, but they said Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, was leaving newly single Katie Holmes' apartment building in such a Jennifer Lopez move. So they said he called himself pulling a J-Lo move. Um, Alex Rodriguez was not going to take the Bennifer 2.0 news line down, they say. He's ready to take back the headlines with his own PR move that is straight out of the Jennifer Lopez playbook. The former NLB player found a way to create curiosity about who he might be dating just by exiting an apartment building. One of the tenants in that New York City building is Katie Holmes, who just happens to be recently single after her breakup with Chef Emilio. The paparazzi photographed A-Rod leaving the former Dawson Creek Stars building on June 13th. There's no context to what he was doing there or who he was visiting, but just by attaching the Holmes name to the photo, everyone is suddenly interested. So it's alleged that he was leaving Katie Holmes' apartment. It doesn't mean that he was leaving her apartment, but he was in the same building as her. So he called himself throwing a jab back at J-Lo. And that's exactly what Rodriguez wants. After trying to sadly woo his ex-fiance back through his Instagram story, he realized that Ben Affleck had a much stronger hold on Lopez than he realized. Then he attempted and failed to rebound with her. So he was trying to get the Southern Charm star Madison LaCroix at the PGA Championship in South Carolina late last month. Some men might just quit trying to grab a headline, but Rodriguez knew to preserve because that's exactly what his ex would do. All right, it's a reminder he once was the Jenny from the block, singer's equal when it came to making smooth yard moves. He understands the power that had when the two of them showed up on the red carpet with their coordinated outfits and J-Lo glow. She's out there during the breakup, but he's proving that he has a few more power plays up his sleeve. He now has us wondering there's a Holmes romance in the future. Okay. So A-Rod was like, no, 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 no. I can do this too. I am the king of PR moves. So he took on coming out of I guess they're thinking this is allegedly staged, maybe, that he is dating Katie Holmes now. But he's trying to get J-Lo back. I think he's very jealous of J-Lo going out with Ben Affleck now. So he's trying to make make it look like he's with Katie Holmes. But that's only alleged. They didn't see that he's just leaving the building. Okay, let's give an update on Erika Jayne and Tom. They had The Hustler and Housewife documentary played the other day. And the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erika Jayne's most famous tagline is, "I am up," from the allegations laid out in the ABC's new documentary on the many lawsuits pending against her and her ex-husband, Tom Girardi, including claims of legal malpractice and fraud. It seems that at least some of that cash she's been wrapped up in on television is not actually hers or her husband's. Oh my God, okay. In an attempt to unwrap the layers of the enigma around Los Angeles' most famous power broker and his wife, though it's obvious that filmmakers at ABC and cultural spectators have become all too dazzled by the glitz and glamour surrounding the horrifying malpractice crimes Girardi is alleged to have orchestrated, and that with court proceedings going on, the real story has yet to be told. The Housewife and the Hustler, which aired as a special Sunday night on ABC, promised a big payoff, including interviews with Girardi's alleged victims, most of whom are past clients, and promotional materials. ABC trotted out its access to the insider world of Los Angeles power brokers, having obtained footage of depositions, emails, court transcripts, and firsthand accounts by former employees and peers of Girardi. It also claimed insider sources among the world of the Real Housewives. A more empathetic investigation might first begin with interviews with victims and past clients, those most affected by Girardi's actions. Instead, the Housewife and the Hustler attempts to lure in gossip vultures, promising big on secrets, and insiders might reveal some secrets that we may not know. How funny that is, structured like the worst episodes of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Oh my God. Which place entertainment and scandal over empathy or honest storytelling. It takes a third of its runtime to even meet a single past client of Tom Girardi's. 20 minutes into the special view, the first Girardi's alleged victims who agreed to be interviewed. Joe Gomez was a resident of San Bruno in 2010 when a PG&E gas line broke and then exploded, leveling his neighborhood, killing his girlfriend, and leaving him with full-body burn scars. Kim Archer, a friend of Joe's mother, Kathy, drove to San Francisco to console and help her childhood friend. At the time, Archie said she worked as a legal consultant while Gomez's family fought to save Joe's life. They were inundated with requests from potential lawyers, after which Archie connected them to Girardi, a powerful lawyer in Los Angeles. He had at that point a proven track record in winning against PG&E, having famously represented the case against the energy giant featured in the movie Erin Brockovich. Before detailing Joe's case, Girardi alleged theft of almost all the family's settlement money. It's important to note just how powerful Girardi was in Los Angeles law. On this front, the Housewives and the Hustler is widely successful through admissions by lawyers in Los Angeles, former peers, legal analysis, and reporters. I became almost haunted by the reach this man had in California courtrooms. There's even a harrowing excerpt from popular late night Bravo show Watch What Happens Live, which featured embattled California Governor Gavin Newsom acknowledging Girardi as one of the largest donors and most ardent supporters. Okay, so that is an update on Erika and her husband Tom Girardi. They did their documentary, The Hustler and the Housewife. So if you haven't seen that, check that out and try to keep up with the case. The latest news I heard on Sherelle's World. Shout out to Sherelle and Sherelle's World. They're doing an in-depth analysis on Erika Jayne and her husband Tom's legal woes, along with some a legal analyst. I think it's a lawyer, Richard. I can't think of the name, but anyway, check out Sherelle's channel. Shout out to Sherelle again. They are doing like a big expose on it, and she talks about it more in detail. Her and Perry and her other Gabor and the other panelists there. If you watch her channel, you can get a way more in detail of how well they are handling Erika's case. I think from what I heard last that her lawyer wants to drop out. He wants to, he doesn't want to be on the case anymore. So if you check her channel out, you can get a full update on what's going on with Erika and Tom. And also we have Katt Williams and Cedric the Entertainer are at it. In a recent episode, I think it was Joe Budden show. I think it was. I may be mistaken. Where I seen Katt, I did see the interview where Katt Williams accused Cedric the Entertainer of stealing his joke. So Ced did come back out with a response, and he said, "I've had jokes stolen. I've had similar premises to others as well, but that joke has DNA years old specifically for me. Cigarette hanging from the lip and all," the Cedric Entertainer says. And he did. He came back and said to him that he didn't even think he was even doing stand-up during the time when he was on the original Kings of Comedy. He said he don't even think Katt was even in the business, or maybe was not as popular. He probably was doing stand-up, but maybe he wasn't as popular then. But anyway, Ced goes to say he responded to Katt Williams' claims that the famed comic stole one of his jokes and used it during the Kings of Comedy tour. Ced took the Instagram on Friday to deny the accusations. He says, "To all my people hitting me about the at Katt Williams commentary, I say no, sir." He wrote in the caption of a clip of him addressing the controversy, "That joke has roots tied into so many other of my jokes. To know me is to know most of my jokes are very similar animated characters acted out of of a sense of humor." He continues saying, "I've had jokes stolen. I've had similar premises, others as well, but that joke has DNA years old, specifically from me. Cigarette hanging from the lip and all." Pete said the entire response to the allegations via the Instagram clip. In case you missed it, Williams recently argued in an interview with the Morning Hustle that Cedric's joke about having to park a large spaceship Cadillac was his joke. "Well, then it initially happened to me. It crushed me just because the comedian was already bigger and more famous than me, and he took my closing joke and his closing joke on the Kings of Comedy." Williams said the reason it hit so bad was that I was in the theater. I paid my money to go see the Kings of Comedy, and to see my joke being there and not me was about as disrespectful as it gets in our craft. And I took it really personal when Cedric the Entertainer at the time. My thing is, it goes on and on. Katt can rant on and on and on. They both are awesome comics. Like, I take nothing from either both of them. Ced had a variety show. He's had sitcoms. He's on a current sitcom, Primetime. Katt, I haven't seen do anything recently, but I do know he owns all the rights of his comedy and things like that. So they both have their own lanes. I'm trying to figure out why it took Katt so long to come out? If you were in the audience, and even though said at the time was bigger than you were, why didn't you say something like long before now? Why would you hold that? I guess maybe out of respect, maybe you did. I'm trying to figure why it would take you so long to say something to Cedric the Entertainer about it. I don't think Ced is a hard person to. So I'm trying to figure out, like, why wouldn't you say something to Ced about, you know, said stolen joke? Um, as me being an inspired comedian myself and have done a little stand up here and there, um, of course, you listen to your favorite comics. You might not do the same joke as your favorite comic, but or a comic that you hear, but all great minds think alike to me. So it may be a joke, like said, a similar premises. The joke is similar because he was speaking about black people going to the moon in that Kings of Comedy excerpt, and that how it would be to like the parking the spaceship, like if you park a Cadillac or something like that. I mean, that's how black culture, the music, the cigarette hanging out the mouth. So I can see where Katt may have thought that Cedric stole his joke, but I again believe great minds think alike. So that is the reason why possibly he would think that Ced stole his joke. But I believe that because our culture is everybody thinks the same when it comes to telling a joke about our culture, especially if you're a black man. So I think that it's just a little when if you watch the Instagram response, Ced was trying to hold his laugh like it was like so but funny to him, but he was trying to be serious. But you could tell Ced like this is not really even that serious. Like seriously, like please stop. Okay. So, guys, I hope you get together and maybe do a show together or something. I think Katt is ready to come back. He's been doing like a media tour. I've seen him on Joe Budden. I've seen him on a lot of other different shows. So I think Katt is ready to come back out. I think he has a movie that he's in with a lot of other comics. He said it's a really, really good movie, and he's happy to be back. So hopefully we'll see a special from Katt soon, and also get to check that movie out that he was talking about that he was going to be doing soon. Okay, so I think my last story is about Chrissy Teigen. I hate this for Chrissy, but you have to watch what you say. You can't just say anything you say anymore. Fox anchor Julie Bandera says Chrissy Teigen is not that hot. Chrissy Teigen was trending yesterday after she penned an extensive apology on Medium for things she said on Twitter earlier today. It is the second time in the last few months that she has done so. They said she apologized for her cyberbullying the other day. Fox News decided to discuss the matter today on Outnumbered in relation to cancel culture, due to the fact that Teigen counts a planned role in a Netflix show after taking heat for her past comments. During the segment, anchor Julie Banderas declared she was going to play Mean Girl for a second and commented on Teigen's appearance and attractiveness, calling Teigen not that hot. Her comment was kind of mean, but I guess her people allowed her to say it. It is unclear why Banderas felt the need to criticize Teigen's appearance or decisions on plastic surgery. It has nothing to do at all with the topic this group was supposed to have been providing commentary on. A very strange decision by Fox News anchor, and one that Teigen and her husband John Legend may take issue with. Yeah, that's sort of like slander. Said she talked about her appearance, said she was not, talked about her plastic surgery, and they were suspended discussing her apologizing for the cyberbullying comments and things like that. So they got this culture council thing out now. That's what Charles Barkley was talking about. If you say things that are not politically correct, or if you say things that are offensive to others, this council culture goes in and to cancel, to lose your brand or to lose your job or to, not be respected in whatever craft that you're in. So again, Chrissy did apologize for the things that she said in the past and recently. And this anchor on Fox News came for her physical appearance and everything. So they are afraid that maybe John Legend and his wife may take some sort of legal stance against, what the anchor said. Had read some of the things that Chrissy said. I was shocked at her behavior or the things that she said, but you never really know people. We don't know these stars. We don't know these people. We put them up on these pedestals, but we have to remember that they are human beings. They do have their own thoughts. They do have their own views on things, and they are human. So we cannot hold these people to a higher standard than we hold ourselves. They are not superheroes. There are no such thing as superheroes. There are no such thing superhumans. The first time I heard that was in the trial concerning the conviction of um, someone, and they were having a trial, and the lawyer said that the person thought that black people we're superhuman, that we can take like a lot of pain and we can take a lot of, and we can, but we're still not superhumans. We're still not superheroes. We are flesh and blood, and we have feelings and emotions. So we have to remember that when we put these people up on pedestals, and we think these people are they, they may not say anything wrong or do anything wrong, that it's not true. So Chrissy did apologize, but she hurt a lot of people, and what brand stands for, it really bruised her. So I don't know if she'll be able to come back from this. I don't know, but hopefully maybe she will. I think that is the end of my podcast for tonight. Short and sweet. Um, Again, I will make sure I keep you updated on young mother that allegedly buried her daughter in the backyard, and they didn't find her till last month. She's been missing for 9 months, and they finally found her. I will make sure I give you an update on that. And I hope everyone has a good night. For those of you that will be coming back to do the replay, please, if that's the first time coming in, please like and subscribe, ring the bell so you can always know when I'm on YouTube. I am trying to get used to going live every time. I soon will not be an avatar. I soon will be going my physical face. So I'm just trying to get my equipment straight. Whenever I try to do it, I'm so dark that you can't. The camera that I'm using is dark, so I'm trying to figure out how to get more light. So I've ordered some lights from Amazon so that when I come on to show my face, you can see all of me and see me in a very lit form. So the film won't be so dark. So soon I will be showing my face soon. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. If you like my content, ring the bell, subscribe. I really thank you guys for tuning in. I don't mind the replays because I'm nervous when people are watching me live. So I do see that you do come back and watch it, and I really do appreciate you guys. I hope you like my content. If you have any suggestions, questions, if you want me to sponsor something on my show, like your products or anything, just hit me in my email and I will gladly give you a shout out. Or if you tell me how you want it done, I would be glad to do that. I do thank you guys for replaying, and I thank you guys for taking the time to stop by my channel and listen to me. Thank you so much. So again, thank you for joining Plus Size Tea with Dear Rose. And I'll be back on Thursday with some more news and content. So yeah, thank you so much. Keep popping in and out. So I'm gonna say good night and smooches. Let me see, can I get my end thing to play? I don't know if I can ever get it to play.